How do you take content into an advertising context to generate leads Monday through Sunday, 24/7 and ongoing for your business, regardless of the industry, regardless of the clients that you support? And I'll kick off with what I'm doing at Content Only day to day to generate daily inbound leads to set the scene, and talk about how content and all the episodes from the previous weeks tie into this conversation here today. So what I do is run a 24/7 inbound message campaign. You can do this on both the Facebook and Instagram platform. And the goal of this is to have daily inbound messages coming into our business's inbox saying, hey, I want help solving a problem that you've offered to solve in the advertising. So every day we have brand new leads, and we're only advertising in the Melbourne market at the moment, that say they want help with the problem that we solved, which we promote the lead magnet that I spoke about, I think it was 2 episodes ago. So you're going to see how all these tools connect to grow your business moving forward. And right now we get leads at a cost of $10.38. And what is powerful about that information is we can start to future pace how many leads we need to get to the client acquisition result that we're looking for each month. So if we wanted to get, say, 3 leads a day, so roughly 90 to 100 a month, we'd have to set a budget of $30 a day to get those 3 leads at our current cost per lead. And then we'd work out what percentage of those, say, 100 leads convert and progress into clients. And then we can scale our business up or down based on that information. And we're very happy with a $10.38 cost per lead in the agency game. And I'm going to talk you through exactly how we set up this dynamic where there's fresh leads reaching out to our business, asking for help every single day. Now, content supports this entire process. There are businesses that can get a lot of leads, but they have a very poor conversion in the sales process. What content does is it ticks a lot of unconscious boxes when people are doing their research, when they go investigate your business and do their due diligence. And if you're in the high ticket space, that typically happens. If they're looking to part with a larger investment, a higher sum of money, they're probably going to want to have some unconscious trust, some desire and belief that your solutions are going to work for them. And it'll all make sense as we continue through this episode. So the more helpful content that you've got across your social media platforms, on your website, on your blog, it's going to start creating those trust checkpoints and those desire checkpoints and the belief in your capabilities. It's going to help those leads move further along the buying timeline and have much less resistance in investing the full rate, making that decision, because they're getting wins, they're getting value up front, and they're also seeing social proof. They're also seeing examples of your expertise and helping people win in the marketplace before making that transaction. So the content keeps building up that ability to have much easier conversations with your leads that ultimately lead to them making a purchasing decision at the full investment and full ask that clients pay to come and work with you. So the lead magnet is the step in this process that can also help you get a lot of leads, and also a lot of leads progress to that client stage in your business. And if you haven't listened to the lead magnet episode, I think it's 2 back. Once we get through this episode, listen to that. It'll make a lot of sense. But ultimately, you want to create a lead magnet that gives so much value that it leaves nothing to the imagination about how your solutions and how your process works. So what I encourage you to do is, lead magnet is a piece of content. It could be a guide, it could be a video, a cheat sheet, a demonstration, a tutorial that essentially shows or walks a prospect through your entire system from stuck with a problem through to the outcome, and you've documented it. So anyone that gets access to that lead magnet could essentially get the outcome doing the work themselves. So you're going to have leads that get a ton of value and become raving fans for your business and advocates and ambassadors because you've helped them win without any investment. We're advertising and giving this lead magnet away to your target clients for free. And there will be a percentage of those leads, and this is where you get clients that just want it done with them or done for them because it's more convenient, it makes more sense based on where they're at in the journey, or it's much better value. And that's where they say, yeah, let's move forward and have that conversation about what that looks like. So build a beautiful lead magnet, walk through your entire system, the A to Z, the step-by-step process that you take a client through to get from the problem that they have all the way through to the end result. And if you market that with the campaign that I'm going to talk you through in this episode, you'll find every day there are people reaching out saying, yes, I want this system, I want help solving this problem, and they're going to be contacting you directly. The reason why I'm a big advocate of messenger campaigns is you don't need external moving parts. There's no CRM requirements. You don't need to have funnels. You also don't need to have complex websites. And every single lead is contacting you directly. So you've opened up a line of communication moving forward. At any stage in the future, because they've messaged you, you can go back to your messenger inbox and revisit the conversation, see how they're tracking, re-engage them, or if there's leads in there that are much closer to making a decision, help move that along the sales process. And having those lines of communication in your messenger inbox is kind of like having a CRM without having to set one up. Anyone in your team can go to that inbox anytime, scroll through, look at all the opportunities and start farming and looking for the ones that would be in a position to have a conversation about getting that help with your paid solutions or simply just adding more value to them. So that's why I'm going to suggest doing messenger ads. You can set, as I said up at the start of this episode, in 1 to 3 hours, regardless of where you find yourself in the business cycle. So it's very fast action, very fast feedback, and you have that direct line of communication with the lead right from the outset. The first thing I want to mention is if you haven't advertised on a platform like Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram before, it can often take a few days for the algorithm to start working out who to best show your ad to. So you need to be patient in the first week, and often it can take a few days before it starts working out who's going to respond and become leads to the campaign. And what you need to understand is Meta wants you to win. It wants you to get as many leads as possible at the best price, because then you'll continue to spend money with it. One of the biggest challenges I see with businesses is they cut advertising way too soon before it's even had a chance to work out how to best perform and get in front of your target clients. So a couple of simple rules of thumb, if you've never gone down this route before, is set a budget that you're comfortable with. Like I said, after a while and you've ran a campaign for a couple of weeks, you'll start to understand what your cost per lead looks like. Mine has progressively gone down since we started advertising the last campaign. And you can work out how many leads over time you want to attract each day, and that might be tied to your conversion numbers. So start with a budget you're comfortable with, and then you can start scaling up or down based on how many leads you need each month to get to the client result that you want. But when you're creating your campaign, you want an audience, if you can, of over 50,000. I think my audience is Melbourne. 30 to 50 is the age range, both male and female, that is interested in content marketing, and it's around the 300,000 mark. So that's who we advertise to with content only, which is quite broad. But I know that Facebook, the algorithm will actually work out who to show that ad to through the copy that I've written into the advertisement, which we're about to cover in a minute. And historically, when I used to talk about advertising, I would talk about going narrower and starting to niche down to have a better qualified audience. But if this is new, you can have a broader audience, over 50,000, even over 1 million in some cases. The only time you'd worry about it being super niche is if you're very location specific and tied to a postcode, and there are very strict criteria to who you work with. Then you'd make it narrower so you don't get too many unqualified opportunities coming in. But have trust that Meta, Facebook and Instagram are pretty good at working this out, and just give it some time to work out who the leads are going to be, and it tends to do a pretty good job of that. Now, I only show my ads in the feeds. When you go to set up one of these campaigns, and the trick is just go to YouTube. If you're not sure how to set up a messenger campaign, there'll be 5 or 6 minute tutorials on YouTube to walk you through. So just go and watch one of those videos if you haven't done this before after we get through this episode, and it'll be very easy to set up. I only show my ads in the feeds because I want people to read the copy. If I've got just visuals popping up on stories, on other placements, people just see the visual, they click, and I might get leads, but they might actually not know what they're putting their hand up for. So my advertisements have a lot of copy, and I put them in the news feed so people read, exactly what they're getting with the lead magnet that I'm advertising, and it actually creates more qualified leads. So it makes it a lot easier to have conversations and to ensure that the people that are reaching out do have the problems that we can solve and have desire for the solutions. So I'm going to explain what I do and what works for me. It may mean that I get less leads and I pay more for leads, but I get a higher quality lead and convert at a much higher percentage, which is more valuable to my business. But also Facebook, once it works it out, shows the ad to more people that fit that criteria. So again, they continue to get more qualified. So the key to writing ad copy, which is a form of content in itself, copywriting, is really simple. And I'm just going to give you the framework. And if you do want the exact copy that's in our ad, that I'm very happy with the performance at the moment, so you've got something to model, you can borrow the template and the layout and adjust it for your audience. You can send me a message, Aaron Whitnish, on social media. I'll give you the exact copy and you can adapt it for your clients, your offer, and your target audience. But you start off with the hook. So you have your offer. What is it? So ours is our 30 days content in 30 minutes system is what we're advertising. You can also do a call out if you are going for a specific postcode or area, like we're advertising in Melbourne. So we might put Melbourne into our headline or our copy to create that familiarity and trust transference in our advertisement, so that people in Melbourne that see the ad realize that, hey, we're in Melbourne too, and there's that extra layer of connection. Step 2 in the framework is the biggest problems and frustrations of your target clients. Now, you can ask some of your existing clients what they were when they came to you. Chances are you're across some of these and you want to list them out, 4 or 5 of these in the ad, so people can relate to those pain points. The next part, step 3 in the framework, so you list out the 4 or 5 ways that the lead magnet solves the 4 or 5 problems and frustrations that you've listed above. Then step 4 in the ad copy framework is the CTA, which is where you instruct the lead what to do. So in our case, it's send us a message to get access to the 30 days in 30 minutes content creation system. It's that simple. It's very important to tell people whether they need to click a link, click a button, send a message, whatever it is in the ad. So the 4-step framework, hook, biggest problems, and then how the lead magnet solves each of those problems, and then CTA. That's the 4 steps. I use Canva to create all the visuals for the advertisements that we put out for our agency. And what you can do to get inspiration for a good visual is just go onto the Facebook platform after you're done with this podcast, scroll through your newsfeed, and you're going to see an ad every sort of 3, 4, or 5 posts. And take note of the next 3 ads where the visual gets your attention and pulls you into the ad. That gives you something to model that you can go, okay, this visual got my attention. And one thing you don't want to do is use clickbait, where there's an image that will get people's attention, but it's not relevant and has nothing to do with the offer, because again, it's going to impact your lead quality. So the next 3 ads that get your attention, but also are relevant to what the ad is, take note of that, and you can use that as a basis for creating your visual. You're also welcome to see the visual that is used in our ad that I'm happy with how it's performing, and use that as a guide as well. Once you've got that set up, you need to set up the messenger process in the Facebook ad campaign section, which again, you can see how to do this on YouTube, but it's very simple. It basically holds your hand all the way through. So the way that I do it for the agency, I have an automated message. My message, which is created inside the ad setup on Meta, is, hi, whatever their name is, just quickly confirming you want a free copy of the 5-step 30 days in 30 minutes content creation system. Click download now, and the 5-step system will come straight through to your device. And the download now button automatically appears, which is created inside the advertising platform. And then if they click that, it sends the lead magnet straight through to them. The conversation is open, and then it's just a matter of circling back in, seeing if they need any extra support, see how they're going, ask if they're doing content, and start building a relationship with that lead. Inside our lead magnet, there are steps where they can book in Zooms and have calls and get one-on-one support, which is also free. And that's how we are able to move them along the timeline towards becoming a potential client. Then once your ad is live, it's set up, it usually gets approved relatively fast unless you've never advertised before. It's that test and measuring game. Like I said, give it at least a week or 2 to perform before you make any decisions. And if you're happy with the cost per lead, you can scale it up or down and adjust it to how many leads you feel like you need to get the number of clients that you want to bring into your business each month. If you've ran it for a while and it's just not delivering or it's not performing, then that might be a sign to switch it off or make some adjustments to the offer or the audience. But just set a budget that you're comfortable with, give it a week or two to allow it to start showing some results. And then if you're happy, then scale it up or down based on the number of leads that you want coming in each day. As I said, in our agency, our leads right now cost us $10.38. And if we wanted to get 100 leads a month, we probably need a $30 to $35 a day budget to achieve that result. So that's just an example how we would make a decision, which is roughly $1,000 a month in ad spend. If we wanted 1 lead a day, then we set our budget at roughly $10. We'd spend $300 a month. We'd get our 30 leads and so on. So you can use it to make decisions based on where your business is at.